It was going to be a lot darker than it was.
I was going to say that. I didn't see that on the art cover.
Yeah.
Cover art.
Yeah, it's because he didn't do it.
Insert shots fired clip here.
Shots fired.
Welcome to Room 6, the channel dedicated to the local Las Vegas music scene and the people that make it, including these guys and me. I'm Josh, and today my guests are a psych rock indie band that's, in their words, here to tickle your ear holes and massage your brain wrinkles. I love that. They're part of the Pigeon Hat Collective. I'm hoping to get some more Pigeon Hat Collective people on the channel eventually. Hint, hint. And I guess really all I can say is please welcome to the channel, Trash Animals.
Hi. How's it going?
Say hi. Yeah.
Germs, nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
I'm Ryan.
You jumped ahead. I was going to say introduce yourself. It's okay. Go ahead. For anybody watching the video that doesn't know who they are, thank you very much. Go ahead and let them know who you are, what you do.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm Germs. I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, and we just released an album.
Yep. I'm Ryan, and I do a bit of the same stuff, but not the songwriting part. I kind of need him to do what I do.
Percussionist extraordinaire.
Nice.
Bass player
yeah,
extraordinaire over here.
Yeah, you do actually do a little bit of everything. I was able to see like your guitar and drums and bass.
I got a whole little studio in my house. So.
I would describe the effort as a total half and half between me and him.
Yeah.
Everything I can't do, he can't do. He can do, and everything he can do, I can do.
So each of you half-ass it, and together you make a full.
We split the bass lines almost in half.
Nice.
He does a couple more bass lines than I do, and then we have a guest bassist on one of the songs. Nice. But he does all the drums, and I do most of the guitar, but he's got some killer guitar licks in there that made their way in, definitely.
Yeah. Right on. One thing I didn't mention in the little intro was the new album is called Closer to the Antenna, and I've actually got a review of it that's probably here. And it's awesome.
Hope it's good.
No spoilers, but it doesn't suck. So no, honestly,
that's good to hear.
No, every now and then I get to review something that you're like a lot of time got spent in post on this. Not saying fixing stuff, but saying like let's really make this quality. With a capital Q.
Yeah, we put some serious hours into it.
It seemed like, and I think I mentioned this in the review, it seems halfway like fly by the seat of your pants a little bit, or like, hey, that's a good idea, and half very planned out.
Very much so is.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely, I feel like, the approach, because a lot of this stuff was about half the material was 2 to 3 years in the making, the stuff that I was writing and putting together. Mm-hmm. And then the other half of it was stuff that we'd just gotten in a room and jammed like a little bit. Mm-hmm. And literally in the last like 2 months of recording the album, I was like, I have to write lyrics to this and make it a song.
Some of my favorite songs I've ever written have been like the 10-minute song.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that goes great with these lyrics I've had floating around in my head forever.
Yeah. I think the most interesting writing experience on the album was Drugstore.
Yeah.
Drugstore was really interesting because we had messed around with that. We've got an old recording of us just...
with like a full band.
Yeah, of just in the room, just us like making shit up off the top of our heads and just sort of where it went. And like it not being finished the entire time we were working on the album, and then...
I was playing djembe on it?
Yeah, basically a month before we were just like, let's see what we can do with this.
Nice. And... Now, you mentioned... old band. You come from Awesome Possum originally.
Yes, I originally had a band called Awesome Possum.
Now, were you in a previous band?
Yes, actually. I was in, this is like 8 years ago now, Patchwork. And this was with Chris Mendoza, Dan Howard, and Travis Lyons.
Like I saw.
Yeah, we had like one show at Container Park and then we fizzled away.
Oh, Container Park, so that dates it. It wasn't like a long time ago.
No, I was actually just looking. The dates on that were like 2013, 2014. So,
yeah.
And that was like kind
but
of...
you guys made an album too. You guys got some stuff out of it. You did some stuff with it.
Let's not talk about that. No, it's a cool album. It's just we didn't really have a hand in the production of it. So.
We all have our sophomore efforts, right?
Yeah.
I have one EP out there as Awesome Possum, and you know, sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, oh, for what we put into it and for like how inexperienced I was, like this is awesome. But I'm also like embarrassed to show this to anybody.
Yeah. The difference between my first and second album are totally like first album was literally me in a room with an acoustic guitar just writing everything.
Yeah.
And then I like paid way too much and got it done because my wife got tired of hearing me, you know, complain about it. And then the second one, I was like the bass player for my band also had a home studio. He did the engineering, he did the drum set, and I did everything else. And it was so much different. And I like invited other friends in from musician friends to collab. So it was totally different.
I think that's what really changed it up for us this go around. Obviously, he wasn't involved in Possum. We've known each other for about 3 years now, 2 years now.
I don't know, man.
I just showed up one day.
Yeah. No, we became quick friends and collaborators, but definitely like the difference of my experience recording the Awesome Possum EP, where it was like, oh, we've got such a small amount of money. Let's get into this studio. John K hooked us up at
I recognize that name.
Naked City back in the day for, you know, just pennies basically, and
Naked
we tried
City,
to get it all done at once. You know what I mean? And the difference between that and investing in our own recording software and like taking our time with it and being able to really like, you know what I mean? It's kind of a scary thing to be like, oh, I'm gonna do everything on this that like normally I would pay someone else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was a learning experience for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. There's this, I could do that, and then there's the other half of your brain going, but can you? But can you though?
Yeah.
Really?
I would notice I would go through these cycles of like, oh, I'm gonna bring in this producer to come help with these things or help with this, and like as we got to the end, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna keep trying. I'm just gonna keep trying. And I felt bad because there were a couple people that I had wanted to get help from that, like, as we approached the end, I was just like, I don't really even see, you know what I mean? Not that I, like, you know, want to gank this job out from under you, but I don't really see, I feel like I should do this on my own.
But I'm the one, like, offering the job in the first place.
Yeah.
I didn't do this properly, guys. Welcome to the channel. Clunk.
Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers, mate.
Clunk.
Yeah.
And welcome to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I know, I don't think this guy's drinking, but I'm down to do a shot if you would like to do a shot.
I'll do a shot.
I hate to tell you this, that's alcoholic.
Oh.
No, it's not. I'm kidding.
That's
I'm joshing you. Hey.
Oh.
That's 80 proof, dog.
That 80 proof strawberry rhubarb soda. No wonder my wife didn't like it. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That case. Booze break. We're back.
Cheers.
Magically, they have appeared in our hands. That we're going to very carefully to clink. And
Oh, that is really good.
right, I haven't done it as a shot. That's really good. That's Kings Creek
need
Black
a chaser.
Label.
Yeah.
No,
I just sipped that out of the bottle with the silly straw.
So the one that like is little
The
glass.
twisty, yeah, the twisty one.
Yeah. You know, I had one of those cookies right before with the pumpkin, and it's like, it sort of brings out a little bit of the fruity notes.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. That
so cold.
I generally I generally don't pair tangent. I generally don't pair whiskey with food unless it's like a chocolate cake or like a heavy thing. Whenever I make the mistake of having whiskey with say barbecue or spaghetti with marinara,
Oh, yeah.
it's always a bad time. You're always like, oh, why did I do that? With cookies, I haven't tried that. I might have to.
I wasn't really thinking about it, but like,
Well, you didn't know it was gonna happen.
yeah.
Right on. Back to my job. Moving on. So first, I want to talk about how long have you both lived in Las Vegas or Nevada?
I've lived here for about 10 years now.
I was born in Sunrise Hospital.
Hey, my kid was born in Summerlin Hospital. And you have my sympathies for being born here.
Thank you.
No worries.
There's only like 50 of us.
How long have we been here, father-in-law?
Since 05.
Jeez, I'm crow. 16 years. Just feels it. So after 10 years, you're a native. So
Yeah, I feel like I've gone native at this point.
noise.
I lived here partially when I was.
Do you still say Nevada?
It's Nevada.
Yeah, that's what
I've
I'm
never
saying.
said
See?
Nevada.
In the freaking DMV here in Henderson, it says on the wall, it's pronounced Nevada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never said Nevada unless I'm quoting what's that Will Smith movie?
Yeah, you shut up, New York boy. It's Nevada. Pipe down with the squeaky chair.
But yeah, I think I've been here for a minute at this point. I hated it at first.
The first summer, you're always like, why did I move here?
I grew up in California on the coast, so
Yeah.
I got here and I was like, what the fuck is
I
this?
mean, growing up here kind of sucked, but that's what.
Yeah, you lived in Pismo Beach.
yeah, I grew up grew up on the beach.
I spent 8 years in San Diego, and I lived here for 1 year. Got totally dried out. Went back there for vacation. And I was like sweating, and I'm like, I don't remember it being this humid. And my wife said, "It's not humid."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
especially since I just came back from Disney World for a week. It was not humid in San Diego.
comparatively.
Yeah, but no, even just like my mom lives in Victorville, 3 hours south of here. Nice. And I just saw her on Saturday, and just going there, I was like, I'm sweating. Like, it's so much worse here than it is in Nevada in terms of humidity in the air. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, this is a pigeonhole interview already.
Is that the weather section?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Tuesday, you can expect highs. Oh. It's high as 70 tomorrow, actually. Anyway, now, I know you studied at the Art Institute. Was that in California? Was that in Pismo?
I mean, so briefly, I wouldn't even count it.
Well,
I would say
it's on your
like,
profile.
like 6 months of. I was on my Facebook profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of that.
Like,
Alright.
I did.
I probably put that up while I was going to the Art Institute, right before I dropped out.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Like, I did a semester at CSN Cheyenne, but like I don't even remember what I was doing.
I mean, I learned how to wrap cables there. They taught me the proper way to wrap a cable.
Over under.
Yeah.
Oh.
Audio tech guys are always impressed when they're like, "Oh, you properly wrapping your cable?" It's like,
It ends
No,
up being
I'm
faster.
doing.
It does end up being faster.
yeah, when you're good at it, yeah.
Yeah, when you're good at it, yeah.
It takes a while for sure.
And yet magically when you pull out of your gig bag, it's spaghetti.
Yeah.
Now you actually,
that's Justin's
you're
backpack.
also the bass player for Dead Money currently?
I am right now. I'm the bass player for Dead Money. Yeah.
Right. I know that they briefly had I forget her name, but she was the bass player for Pet Tigers as well.
Spencer, right?
No, I know Spencer was playing with
Yeah.
them for a little bit.
But it's Dead Money. Kella has actually been on the show.
yeah, no, I saw
She
that
was-
was the interview that I saw
Yeah.
in here when you sent me the link. For
And the thing I remember most about watching them perform is the drummer just
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
setup.
way up there.
But this crashes way over here.
Yeah, it's fun
Yeah.
to watch.
and you know what? Good on him.
Yeah, we've been having a good time.
Okay, what does the title Possum Dingus mean?
Oh, so I mean, part of the reason that we called the band Trash Animals was because it's kind of a forwarding of my previous project as far as Awesome Possum's not a band anymore.
Right.
I had sort of gone into just calling it Opossum when I play out solo, and I wanted something that kind of like continued along with the. Oh, nice. I kind of wanted something that I just wanted to start fresh. You know what I mean? Awesome
Yeah.
Possum had been a thing for a while, and I tried to put it together several times with different people, and I just decided that like I just wanted to start working on my stuff, and if people hopped in, people hopped in. If they didn't, they didn't. I wanted to stop trying to put bands together like actively and just start making music. It's just too much. I feel like hassle unless you're finding the right people that you want to be working with, and
Yeah.
you don't find them until you're not looking for it. So,
Right on.
That's kind of
Awesome
the vibe
Possum, yeah,
With
Awesome,
like everyone around Vegas.
definitely, yeah. If you want something, it's not gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
So I boiled it down to Opossum.
Right.
And then when we started working together, I wanted to do something that was kind of consistent with my previous branding. You know what I mean? So I could like sort of get, and I just thought. I mean, Trash Animals is a great idea as far as, like, I knew, like, that word's already known. People know what that is as far as, like,
Right.
pigeons and raccoons and rats and squirrels and just, like, any gross, disgusting animal. And I've always just identified with the possum because that was sort of...
During my research for this interview, I found that there's also apparently a group called Trash Animals. It's like a bunch of ecologists.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I almost went down the rabbit hole. I was just like, no.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. We need to find where they are and send them our music.
Right? I think they have a Facebook page.
We made you guys a whole entire pack of theme songs.
Yeah, right.
Check it out. No, but it was fun for me to. I mean, I always like the imagery of like little animals. I think one of my a huge influencing album for me was Presidents of the United States of America.
Pot USA.
Yeah, and just that.
Which one?
The self-titled.
Okay.
Self-titled. So, and on the front, you've got all these like little frogs, and all the songs are about like dead salamanders
Little
or
boll weevil.
Yeah, little boll weevils or a little spider in a doom buggy.
Oh, I love Spider and Doom Buggy. I love the one where he's playing a one-string banjo on the porch.
And it's just such a fun. I've always felt like it's such a fun way to be illustrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And also in the same time like being a little cheeky and keeping it cute. And I'm all about. I definitely have for a while have been walking away from the trying to make anything cool vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it feels like I'm trying to make it tough or trying to make it cool, it always feels like I'm heading the wrong direction. So I'd rather just be ridiculous and absurd.
Right.
And that's sort of where.
You new musicians out there, pay attention, because that is one of the hardest lessons to learn. Number one is like, yes, you have something to offer. And number two is, don't worry about what anybody else thinks, including yourself. Like, just do what feels like it right, and people will find it.
I just don't want to be afraid to be silly. And I think that's all. That always gets
Yeah.
me. That always makes me cringe when I see a band that's too afraid to like. You know what I mean?
Like
Just-
they're super serious.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Unless you're a death metal band.
Yeah, and I totally get that. They're totally different genres where like that makes sense. And there's also, I mean, as you've heard on the album, there's a lot of like moments for seriousness.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, there are.
But there's
and then
also
there's like me drunkenly laughing at you on there.
Yeah.
Or
well,
is
then
it you
you got
drunkenly
songs.
laughing at me?
Then you got songs about kitties that fly an airship. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, and the,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was working on the review video today. I was editing it, and part of what I do is I talk about like, and these, and the lyrics on this set of lyrics, obviously shows this part of the writing process or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I put a screen up and I the words appear, and having to type some of your lyrics, I'm like, was it mushrooms? Was it?
I mean, definitely
listen
an
to the
influence
podcast,
for
but-
me.
well, the cat meows in particular.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I had Chris Mendoza, who's another member of the Pigeon Hat Collective right now. He had done the Harmony Cat Meows, and I'd given him a couple mushrooms before he started doing that.
Yes,
so.
I heard you said that on the podcast. I heard, and I was just like, should he be saying
Yeah.
that?
We're
Well,
like,
I mean, they're gonna be legal
All right.
at any point now.
moving on. All right.
Arrest me.
So from how long you live in Vegas? How long have you been doing music, just in general?
I think I've been playing guitar since I was like 13 or 14, but I didn't get real about it till I was like 15 or 16.
How are you looking at him? You've only known him 3 years.
I don't know. I'm just
no, what's funny is like I'm like I think I'm on the same vibe. Maybe a year later, I don't know. I started playing when I was 15, and then started playing bass when I was like 6.
Especially
18?
boys, when we hit the teenager years, we start thinking, I want to be a rock star. I want to, be whatever musician is touching you at that moment. Sorry, that came out wrong. is making you feel certain ways about things.
This isn't pop punk.
what musicians are you touching?
Massage my brain wrinkles. Anyway,
I've got a smooth brain. I don't know what you're talking about.
sorry for that. But that's what you get for
But yeah,
being born in Las Vegas.
it was all mimicry until probably like 18 or 19, which is when
yeah.
I started writing. I didn't start writing until about then. And
Same.
even then, all that shit for the next 4 years is just cutting your teeth and trying to find your voice.
Yeah. I'm 49 now, and I didn't find my voice till I was like 30 something. Just kept throwing stuff against the wall, and like you said, a lot of it didn't feel right.
The same here. I don't feel like I found my voice until this album. I feel like I had it,
Yeah.
kind of. You know what I mean? I
Well-
was developing it.
I was aware of Awesome Possum. My manager at the time at a job I worked at, he was a drummer in One Ton Project. I don't know if you're familiar with that band, but
It's not ringing a
he
bell.
he had talked about Awesome Possum, and I think he even played me some of the music, and that is not Trash Animals
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Colin Houseworth?
Yeah,
Colin's a
Colin.
bud.
from the Cheeks.
Yeah, Colin's a bud.
Yeah.
He's played with
been on
Awesome Possum at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't actually here when I interviewed the Cheeks, but it was I was at his birthday show at Taverna Castera, and it was awesome, and he puts it down.
Yeah. No, he's a killer bassist. He was just getting back into playing bass.
Yeah, so I came across
when he
his
started
name, and I
playing.
was just like, can't be the right Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
no, he was playing with us for a little while. Most of the if you're talking about information that you've got off Facebook, most of it's like super dated. You know what I mean? I don't really update anything. I think that's one of the funny things about this band is it's like an exercise in not giving a shit. Like,
There's your tagline, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. If
we
you look at my
spent-
Facebook, you're not getting anything.
we spent a lot of time on the album because it's something that we wanted to do, but for the sake of making it, and we showed it to our friends and we showed it to the people we could show it to, promote it as much as we can, but like it's never been important to me to like get it in front of eyeballs or like to
Right.
to build our web presence. Like if that happens and it happens organically, like that would be sick. But
Well,
I just want to make stuff.
Hopefully I can help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That'd
why
be
this
great.
is here. Wanted to move from based on bouncing off the last question about how long you've been doing music. How long have you two been doing music together? Whether it was as Trash Animals or was there some other project beforehand?
It's like like you said, 2 or 3 years now.
I think this is about two and a half years ago we met.
Yeah. So, his girlfriend, I met her at a house party up the street from my place. Only had seen her one other time where she was like drunkenly yelling, "Fuck you!" at me. I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, whatever. I don't know. Good to see you again, I think."
Mars gonna love this story.
Oh, yeah.
She's who you spoke to on the Pigeon Hat Collective.
Yeah, I know.
page. She runs
And,
our social media for us, thank God. because-
And then like a year later, doesn't hit me up or anything. She's like, "Hey, do you know Germs? You want to play music with him? He's looking to like make a cover band." And I was like, "That's cool, I guess."
yeah, at this moment in
yeah,
time,
let's go
I was
hang out.
really into the idea of like getting paid to make music for once.
Mhm.
What covers?
We
Ghost
actually,
Town?
We never actually got.
Nutrimilk Hotel?
Yeah, we never. I have a huge list of covers on my own, but I was planning on doing something like. My covers are never like crowd pleasers.
Yeah,
it's always like.
Well, like your three, I noticed your favorite bands like Nutrimilk Hotel, Flaming Lips, Joy Division. I saw a Joy Division shirt there.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear those in Vegas ever.
Yeah, I'm definitely don't have like the top 40 sensibilities.
I think you do what someone. They said it in a way of like trying to help me to write like more popular music or something. But I'll never forget. You ever heard of a band called Dinosaur Jr.?
Love Dinosaur Jr. Huge.
When they
huge
were
influence.
a thing, that's where I met one of my my drummers actually. Back when I was doing the rock thing, and he was the drummer at the time for them. But we did a set, and it was all like my stuff at the time because I have an album. We haven't written anything together yet, but let's do gigs and play my music until it was that thing. And it is what it was. But he came up to me and he said, "You write music for musicians." And I was like, "Thanks, man."
Yeah,
That's what you guys do.
I think that's what we're the bands that I love are bands that are like playing for people that love music.
All I
you know
listen
what
to
mean?
is like heady, like they're not top 40 at all.
Right.
Like,
Oh, you mentioned a thing again. We should just shout out that podcast. It's not the hemp podcast. It's something your Earth Market.
Happy Earth Market.
Happy Earth
HEM,
Market.
the HEM.
Shout out to Happy Earth Market podcast. But
they're a good friend
that
of ours.
podcast gave me some insight into you. You like the unusual song structure that I love as well.
Yeah.
I love writing a song that makes people go, "Huh?" But it still works.
Yeah.
It isn't like I just made up my own scale. Or whatever.
I like writing the line between keeping with a certain amount of pop sensibility, but also finding like how far I could push that until you're uninterested. You know what I mean? I want there to be pieces of the song that get you caught up. You know what I mean? And have that you have that catchy moment and that like sort of pull. But then I want anxiety building bridges. And,
Well, one thing that really helps is that you're both multi-instrumentalists. Now you do guitar, mandolin, banjo, bass and do you do any drumming?
No, I don't do any. That's the one thing.
What
that
about hand
is
drums?
Out of my wheelhouse. I mean, I can
Yeah.
keep a beat.
Yeah.
I've got. I mean, just not to the extent that I would ever call myself a drummer. I've got an electric kit at home. I make some of my own hip hop and stuff on the side. You know what I mean? But I can't do what this guy does at all.
But see, I haven't gotten any drum gear lately, but I just bought a new.
Are you sure you're a drummer?
Yeah.
He's honestly just a better musician than I am.
No, but see, I don't actually write anything.
I think that's why. So we were talking about like when we first met. I think that's why it became such a fruitful relationship. Is because we both approach music in completely different ways. We're both very different people, but not in the way that like. No one's stepping on each other's dick in this relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
not.
Yeah.
Not yet.
It's one of those things where I will get so into the writing and just be in love with like the way that I'm like spinning the words together, and I'll show him super excited about it, and he won't get a shit. his brain just doesn't.
So what you're saying is he's an honest soundboard,
Yes.
and that's so rare.
Yeah, he's much more. I feel like an executionist. You know what I mean? I think
Well, I'm just a lot more objective when it comes to like creating a song.
Yeah.
Like for instance, one of the tracks you'd brought to us, or well to me, and I was like, you need to cut like 5 sections out of this.
Oh, and that's not to say that
know?
he doesn't, and I want to say that too. It's not to say that he doesn't participate in writing, because a lot of those riffs are his riffs. A lot of it's stuff that I've built off of his ideas. I think that we just both get different payoffs when it comes to music. You know what I mean? He loves the execution. He loves.
I like making riffs
theory,
and like parts
yeah.
and like connecting bits together, but he's all about like the actual songwriting and like creating a skeletal structure to work off of.
He's also the engineer. He can clean things up. He can make things. He can make it sound.
Pants off.
Yeah, he can make it sound magic in a way that I can't, because he's got this knowledge of EQ and compression and just things that are just way over my head. But also on the other side of the spectrum, I did all of the sound design, so creating the synths and like
I'm not a synthesizer
textures. I'm more of the textures, emotions guy, and he's more of the mathematics dude.
Nice.
And I think that's what works.
And-
You need someone with Asperger's. You need an Asperger's. You need someone to help you create your vision. You don't need 10
Drummer needed
songwriters.
must have Asperger's.
Yeah. You don't need 10 songwriters in a room all trying to jizz onto each other's song.
And that's why I put the disclaimer at the front of the video.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes Fleetwood Mac is kind of cool. Like,
Sometimes the tension works
Now,
if
see-
you want to deal with that. I'd rather just have a good relationship.
The problems come when too many cooks are in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like I used to front a cover band, 7 people when we started. It was very quickly down to 4 people.
Yeah.
Because it got to, guys, it's a cover band. We're doing 4-hour shows. We're getting paid. Yes, that's a cool song, but let's work on the set list, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, that cut that never made it to the radio from, Creedence Clearwater, that's an awesome song. But no, like, let's make a set list, and then we can, I had to be a rehearsal Nazi.
I think that's why we get along so well. It's because it is really just that what needs to be done, and neither of us are interested in working on any of the things. There's very rarely a point where if we disagree on anything, like it's a good disagreement. It's always like, oh, like what if we do this? What if we do that? It's never like let's just go on a million tangents. Yeah.
How's that go?
Yeah.
Right on. Moving on. Jeez, where do I go from there?
Sorry, I got us all lost.
No. That's I love that. I love that stuff. Okay. Thanks for sticking with us. Now, the album artwork really does a good job of reflecting kind of what's in
There's
the
a story
album.
behind the album artwork.
I was hoping so, but before we get to that, I wanted to ask Ryan a question.
oh, geez.
Yes, geez. Now, you are a video game and anime and manga fan, right?
Actually, I don't have any manga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what's on my profile?
No, I probably assumed based on. but a lot of what I saw on your Facebook and was
Fucking nerd.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the same place though.
Yeah, no,
We're both.
But yeah.
No,
But
you
I
know
was
what I have
wondering.
in place of it is I got a bunch of Gundam
That's what made me think manga. I was
Yeah.
like, he must read manga if he's got freaking things from manga
Yeah.
in 3D form.
He's about that Gundam life.
Oh no, I just like building little dudes.
Welcome Gundam style.
Yeah.
It's actually a funny thing because it again is another testament on how similar we are while being completely opposite. Because we both love anime, but he loves most of the anime that I'd never wanted to watch.
But well, yeah, some yeah. What's with all the 4 pairs of glasses? You did more than one of those.
Oh, I don't know.
Like 16 eyes. Anyway.
Yeah, why not?
But the reason I ask
He
is
sees
I was
everything
wondering
he's
how
on
much input you had in terms of the actual like artwork itself, or
Oh.
was this somebody completely different?
I mean, so, between like the trash animal's name, I picked like a frog for mine just because, like, there's arbitrary reasons for that. But basically, I was like, whatever, I'm the frog and he's the possum. And then he had like this whole collage idea of how he wanted it, and I was like, fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
You do that.
Roll with it, yeah.
Well, the album, the artwork was one of the most stressful things, and I'm not gonna call anyone out. I have a really
Spill the tea, son.
I have a really good friend. We go back a long time. We used to hitchhike together.
Whoa.
And he's still kind of living that
Vagrant
folk
life.
punk street kid lifestyle. And
He
we're
has
getting
the
old.
crust of
We're
the
getting
punk.
old
I
now,
was like,
so
he
it's
hasn't
like,
quite realized there's an age limit on that before it's just.
I don't want to talk any shit. I love
Yeah,
him. We all
okay.
make our own. We all make our own different choices, and me and him are on sort of different pages at this moment. But I love him, and I love his artwork. I think he's a super talented artist, and I really have always believed in his artwork to the point where I'm like, this could pay your bills. You know what I mean? And I know it sounds funny because I'm of the camp that like I don't give a shit if it pays my bills. I want to do it to do it. So I totally understand.
Right.
I totally understand where he's at. But basically, I had consigned him to do the artwork. He does a very like surrealist, steampunk, dark, Dali-esque, biomechanical type of style where it was going to be a lot darker than it was.
I was gonna say that I didn't see that on the art cover.
Yeah,
Cover art.
yeah, it's because he didn't do it.
Insert shots fired clip here.
Shots fired.
No, and it's, I mean, he's just going through a lot of shit in his life. I think that I let it lie on the hook for longer than I wanted it to. Because I was just like, he's like, oh, I'm going to get it to you next week, and next week will
Okay.
come. I'm like, are we getting it? Are we getting it? Anyways, it was up to where I had put like a deadline on us for finishing this album, because I knew if we didn't, then it wouldn't get done. And we had already like released when we were going to release it, and you know, it was about, I mean, weeks out, 3 weeks maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, look, I need it by, you know, this weekend, or like I need to find someone else to do it. Like we need art for this. And it didn't come through, and I was pretty upset, and we had a small falling out, but we're cool now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But it did leave me in a place where I was like, fuck, I gotta do this! And I remember, I'm sure Ryan remembers, I was a fucking stress pot.
Did you do the art?
About the art. No,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
didn't do the art. I wish I had that talent. So we hit up a couple different people, and I tried to. There were a couple people that we talked to, and I tried to make it. I gave them the backstory of what had happened with my previous artist, so that they
Don't
would
fuck me over.
understand the urgency.
Yeah.
I was just like, look, I need it now. I need it to be this.
And some artists don't work that way.
And I need, like, and if you can't do that, that's fine. I just need to find someone who can.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there are a couple people that are like, yeah, do it. But, like, the way in which they were responding to
Yeah.
me was just like, I don't feel good about. And finally I found someone who was just like, yeah, I can do it, and I'll have it done by then, and this is how much it's going to be, and this is what it will be. I liked his art style. He was a friend. Again, I feel like my girlfriend Mari is a driving background force in all our projects, because she plays with, she actually does vocals with Gregory Michael Davis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I meant to say that because he's been on the channel too.
Yeah.
Shout out Greg. Dude, in a Crossing the Streams moment, I'm hanging out with Dirt Halo before they come back to Triple B when it reopened after COVID.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, we're hanging out, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go get bite to eat and some drinks. You want to come with?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll bring my camera." And that was fun. But on the way there, walking, and here comes Gregory Michael Davis, dressed to the nines, like he's doing some show somewhere. But he just comes and he's walking, and we're like, "Hey."
Yeah, he does stuff over at Commonwealth.
Yes, and that's exactly where I saw him outside.
Yeah, I think
and then the funny thing is,
like trivia nights
we get done like eating and drinking, having fun, and go back to Triple P. Fucking passing again. It's like,
yeah,
dude.
It's always fun running into him. He's
awesome.
He's putting it together and working hard, and it's nice to see him. He came to our release when we put it out there. It made me feel real good.
Yep.
I was just like, we don't know anyone to show this to, but we did have a full house the night that we released it, so that was nice.
Story time about Gregory Davis.
Uh-oh.
I used to work at this call center when I was like 22.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, but he was actually a manager there, and back then.
What?
Yeah, and his ego was definitely like about as big as it is now, but back then when.
But less justified.
Yeah, and Halloween he showed up as himself with a bigger beard and bigger hair. Yeah, it's very on brand for him, right?
That's great.
I can't be mad. That's straight office stuff. That's straight from the office.
Yeah.
That's
no,
awesome.
and he went to the
Tag
actual
him
director's
and
room and
timestamp that.
took pictures of himself with his feet kicked up on the director's desk.
Yes.
I was like, dude, you're gonna get fired, but this is awesome.
He's awesome. I always try and go out and support for them and other people that show us support. I always really appreciate it. But long story short.
Too late.
Long story long.
It's all good.
She had recommended someone through him, and we got together, and I was still tenuous up to it. We literally got it. I mean, what, like 4 or 5 days before we released the album?
Now, currently, there's no physical album, right? There's no physical.
We've got physical CDs that we burned ourselves.
I assume.
I meant to bring some for you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Definitely make sure you subscribe if you haven't already,
Yeah.
and because that review is coming. It's going to be the review will post before this does.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I can't wait to read it. That's going to make me feel real good, I'm sure.
It's tits. Hey. Do we want to shout out that artist that you finally landed?
Oh, yeah. So that was, you can find his art on his Instagram at Leo, Leeaux. Leo.
Okay.
Leo, like Lee Oxcord. Lee. But that's what
I'll put it up here.
That's what I know
Okay,
him as. He did a great job. I was very worried about it for a long time. I had seen a lot of his other art. I had sort of described to him a lot of imagery from the album. It was basically already the idea that I had given to our previous artist to do, but it would have turned out probably much less colorful. We were going to do a mashup with one of his artist friends and do like the left to right on that floating islandscape where it went from dark to color, so black and white to color, and color to black and white. We were going to marry them, but that never happened.
Married.
Yeah.
Now, keys.
Yeah, but he did an amazing job, and I'm really happy with the way it came out.
The cover art to me smacks of this needs to be on vinyl.
We really wanted
like
to
you
do
open it up and the whole back cover or the.
You can only afford to make
I know.
copies, man.
We really wanted to do that. We've done
Limited run,
everything we
limited run.
can. So we did a very small run of posters. I was gonna bring you one of those. I'm gonna make sure that I get some sent to you.
Okay.
There's a poster of the entire. Have you seen just the square for the front, or have you seen the whole piece?
Both.
Okay,
because
cool.
trying to like put an image into the video for YouTube, it's ideal if it's the same size as the rest of things.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my only comment about the artwork is that the name of the band might be bigger.
Yeah.
Because everything's real tiny, and I was just like, it's hard to like read it.
Well, yeah, no, I've got originals as far as just the art, and I've got a couple different versions as far as if you're seeing the entire thing, or if you're just looking at. So as just a square, the name is big enough. you know what I mean? But as the entire horizontal, you
Right.
know what I mean, thing, it's not quite. But I didn't really even want the name to be important on like the big landscape.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But from a graphic design, visual art type thing, I'm like, I wish you made a big one. Like,
Yeah.
big name.
And I can get that over to you actually.
I'm empty. Shall we booze break? Booze break. We're back. He's
Cheers,
driving. So, clink. Empty toast.
Thanks, sir.
Now then, over the break, you were talking about your lovely one-bedroom scorpion hovel.
You what?
Yes. I love it. We live on the edge of town. It's basically like one of the last places to stop before you can start going out to Pahrump or Red Rock.
Okay.
It's Buffalo and Blue Diamond.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
like
know that area.
right where they've like just developed enough to have stores, but like we live on a horse ranch, literally on a horse ranch. So we've got it's nice. It reminds me of being home. I don't feel like I'm in the city, but we do have lots and lots of scorpions. I've been stung once. Mara's been stung twice. But we keep up on it and we get them. But I saw one crawling across the ceiling this morning, and our new scorpion device. We got that thing that you see on TV. It's got these little whiskers and they open up. It's almost like a claw grabber, but it's got these little whiskers, and it gets spiders up in it or like things, and it just traps them. And we've got a jar in the freezer, and we're starting a collection.
Tell me you're milking them.
I think I want to get like start getting like resin, and because she does like wrap jewelry.
Oh
I
snap!
think I want to start putting them in resin, so I'm just gonna keep.
I mean, it's a never-ending supply, right?
Yeah, and
Damn.
like.
So, I guess stay tuned for possum jewelry. No,
Yeah.
no.
Space Goat Designs.
Not only that, but farm to table. Awesome.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Trash animal design.
We don't even outsource our scorpions. We get them in house.
Okay. I know you both were here during the grasshopper bit.
Yes.
So, for those of you that don't know, in Las Vegas, 2020. No, it's 2019, right?
2019.
It was 2019.
Like,
yeah.
just with everything
I know it's
going
not still
on,
working.
with everything going on between 2016 and 2020, 2019 there was a goddamn grasshopper
Oh, it was like the plague.
invasion.
That was so much fun.
There was just a grasshopper swarm through Las Vegas. So
That's
much
not the
so.
first time it's happened either.
Really?
No, it happened when I was a kid here.
Well, it's the first time where Evil Pie had a grasshopper pizza.
You what?
Oh, that's great.
They sourced them from Mexico because you know they,
you can't just
you can't just be like get a net.
yeah,
You know?
just grab grasshoppers
I mean, you
from the
could.
wild.
Yeah, come on, boys, come on.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't realize that it was like it's happened before.
I remember, so what we were talking about earlier is I actually did live here when I was in like elementary school. I went back and forth between here and California. So I moved here when I was in like kindergarten and lived here till I was like 4th or 5th grade, and then California, back and forth till I just ended up in California.
Okay.
Um,
Except now you're here.
Yeah, but I was probably, I think, 7 or 8 years old, and I remember we had another one of those massive grasshopper swarms, and I just have this really early memory of being in a Blockbuster. You know, they got all the...
First of all,
Yeah, they've got the glass windows,
Yeah.
and they were just like, bop, 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 bop,
oh, they were,
bop,
oh
bop.
wow.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say you looked out and it was like going by, but no.
No, they were just like hitting the... Like it
See, I
was
don't remember that, though,
hailing
at all.
outside. But it was
Oh
grasshoppers.
God. You think, is it hailing?
Yeah.
It's like July or whatever, and you look at it, you're like, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no.
And just the same as it was this year. So, like, when this happened, I was just like, oh, like, this happens here every once.
Been there, done that,
every once- Yeah, so often, which is a really weird...
But it was just so perfect for like, you know,
Yeah.
2019. Just like, of course, what's
Yeah.
next? You know,
Yeah.
put the tablet back.
Yeah.
So,
Is it, what, are we going to start missing firstborns around
Yeah,
here?
right.
Or, like, what's going down?
all right. Now, obviously, it's trash animals. You went the route of we're going to put out product first. We'll worry about shows later.
Yeah.
So obviously, there hasn't been any shows for trash animals.
No shows for trash animals yet. That doesn't
Well,
mean it's
the
off
person that
table.
we were gonna have play bass for us broke his hand like before we even released. So
Slacker.
Yeah, we like to joke around that because he did the bass on Drugstore, which is the one that goes really hard
Oh, yeah.
slap Primus style.
Yeah.
And we joke around that he broke his hand doing that. Because he literally broke
For
his
the
hand
art,
like a week
man.
later. Yeah.
yeah.
Who was
What,
that?
like a week or two later?
Our buddy Spencer.
Yeah.
Spencer.
Spencer Motamedi.
With a C or with
Spencer
an S?
Shavod Motamedi.
Yeah. So
Wow, that's a name.
yeah. So Spencer,
Good name, Spencer.
Spencer has actually just released his own album under the Pigeon Hat banner, and it's an ambient album. It's a 6-song EP. You can look him up on Spotify under Spencer Motamedi. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. No, you can look him up on Spotify just by his name. I can't remember the name of the album, though. It's got a...
001.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
001? Cool. 001, and it's got a cell tower right in the front. One of those ones that look like palm tree.
Nice. Those things freak me out. I don't know what it is about them. Like, if you want to make people worried about 5G or whatever, that's how you do it.
You know what freaks me the fuck out is there is a water tower by my house that I just drive by randomly, and I got a buddy that works for the cell phone company. We're going by that, and he's like, "Oh, check out that cell tower." I was like, "That's an obvious water tower." He's like, "Who fucking uses water towers?" And for sure, next time I roll by, I look, and there's a sign that says the cell company that tower is, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" It looks like an old school water tower.
I mean, Baker uses a water tower. At least they advertise it.
All I know was he knew, and he called it, and it's definitely a cell tower. And it is right next to this house, too. Like, right, basically adjacent to their pool in their backyard.
Wow.
I'm just like, I would be so upset if, like, I was sitting in my pool and the cell tower is just like,
Hey, the pool's warm.
I'm just trying to tan, yo.
All right, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Damn you. I'm just kidding. So,
Sorry, King of
normally
Tangents.
at this point I ask, like, what's your favorite show memory being in this band? Not an issue. But, let's go with separate. You've done live shows?
Yeah.
What's your favorite show memory?
When you say live, you mean performing or?
I mean,
going and
performing.
seeing
Yeah,
something?
performing in front of people who possibly have paid to see you. But yeah, what's the favorite show memory? It could be like, oh, so and so went to jail, or oh, that's the night I woke up in a bush. I don't know.
The time that we went to play Container Park, this is with Patchwork.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Mendoza, he goes to take the amps out of the van, and he takes my Bogner out, and he's like very careless about with other people's gear, and
I was that.
he just, and I was like, oh, what the fuck, man, you like broke the badge, the G fell off, and now it says boner. You know what? This is actually kinda cool. So
his amp does say boner on it.
yeah, so for about 8 years, I've had.
It was such a good show. I got a boner out of it.
Yeah,
I recorded a lot of my guitar licks out of that boner.
all the re-recorded guitar is through the boner.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if y'all want to listen to my boner, you know.
Just get real
Dude,
close.
can I play with your boner?
Yeah.
Nice. How about you? What's your favorite show memory?
Oh, man. Favorite show memory? I think there is this... So again, Possum went... One of the reasons that I dissolved Possum was because it was just at that place where I'd put it together with so many different people that it felt disingenuous at that point. And I was just like, I'd like to retain Possum, but just lose the idea of that band. Because I just like so many... Just worked with so many people that just didn't work out. And it was just like all new lineup to the point where
You were Trent Reznor.
Yeah. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to do my own thing. But one of the biggest defeats is we had this drummer that we were working with. We were working with him for about a year, and we were about to record an entire album's worth of music that we had done with him. It's one of the reasons why there's such a big gap between that first EP and this album. Because, like, I would get to the point where I'm like, all right, we're ready for the studio. And someone would be like, I suck, I'm leaving. Anyways,
musicians.
He quit on us. We had our first show booked at the Bunkhouse, and he quit on us an hour before the show.
Dick.
Through text.
Sorry. Fucking dick.
It's a really dick move. It wouldn't have bothered me if he had been like, hey.
Even.
Yeah, through text.
Didn't find a replacement.
Wouldn't answer his phone an hour before. Yeah, it had been a different story if it had been like, and I think he knew he was going to do it. He just decided not to show up.
That's such a... I mean, a gig is a gig. Like...
So...
Was he that unhappy? Like, wow.
Yeah, it was something. So we had to, I'm stressed. It was one of our first... I think I took it a lot more serious back then. I think now I'd just be like, Yeah.
Well, there's something about there's a gig, there's a responsibility. You've agreed to play.
Yeah.
And
it would have sucked.
Hopefully, you're getting paid for it.
It would have sucked either way.
But
it would have sucked either way. But what I'm saying is, like, 25-year-old me was still wrapped up in the idea of my music that I think that like it was such a bigger blow than like me now, who just like I also being through shit like that already. I just been like, well, we don't have a drummer tonight. That sucks. I would have just told the promoter, and we would have just played without a drummer.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
funny story. I'm going to tell you that.
We got it all. We got it all together to where our bassist was gonna actually play the drums because he had been fucking around. And the funny thing is, I'd been getting angry at the bassist in our practices because he would be behind the kit, and I'd be like, "Look, we need to fucking practice." You know what I mean? So it was like this thing that I was kind of always harping on him for.
Now's your time to shine, buddy.
Yeah, but we get to that, and it was just like, you know all the songs. And I was just like, and I know you can play drums to him. So we slapped him on the drums. We played that show without a bassist. But I remember when we got up on stage, I told the audience, like, sort of the position we were in. I was just like, yo, our drummer just quit on us an hour before the show through text. And everyone's in there, they're just like, fuck that guy. And I was just like, and you know what you do when life gives you lemons? And everyone in the crowd goes, you make lemonade. And I go, say, no! You say fuck those lemons! And we started our first song. It was probably the most punk rock moment of my life.
That is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome.
That is super punk.
I mean, that is better or worse, I guess. Worse. That's worse than I did a show, and like, the bass player left, and we were like, okay, cool, and I'm like getting the pay, and I get a text from the bass player saying, I can't do this anymore. I quit.
Yeah.
And fortunately, he waited till we had no shows.
Yeah.
But that was basically
that
was the end of the band.
That's what you do. That's the professional.
No, you come, but he did it by text. Again,
yeah.
It was like, bruh.
The text thing. I mean, I could take it or leave it, but like, the only thing that really matters to me is that you have the notice to meet your obligations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I've
been fortunate that I haven't had to like if it's been so and so can't make it, it's because of the car broke down or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. So we talked about favorite memories or best, show memories kind of thing. What's your favorite venue in Vegas for, playing or listening to live music?
My favorite venue I've never played, but for listening, would probably be Brooklyn Bowl.
Okay,
Brooklyn Bowl's really good.
I love their sound system, and most of the bands that I love are like right at that place where they shouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Like Brooklyn Bowl is just big enough.
It's like the
them.
next generation House of Blues,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not enormous.
I've heard some really good, like from Kella actually, Dead Money. She was talking about how they were playing, and they brought like amazing fried chicken, big old plate of it, and the server just comes in, pushes a big old plate of pot aside, puts it down like it's fucking Tuesday, and just leaves like nothing. Like they know they really are all about taking care of the artists back there. I haven't been in Brooklyn Bowl because every time I've ever said I'm gonna go check out Brooklyn Bowl, like I'm in the neighborhood, it's closed for private event, and then COVID happened. But I never got the chance to actually be inside, but I've seen pictures, so I get the concept.
I love it. The sound's always impeccable in there. The sound always is to a place where I would much rather see a show at Brooklyn Bowl than I would at like Cosmo Pool, which is always just fucking sounds terrible out there.
Why would you want to go to Cosmo Pool for live music?
Well, I saw one
if people
show
are playing
there that
there,
was really cool.
At the pool?
Yeah.
I saw Gogo Bordello at the pool, but like the sound was still shit.
Yeah. No, and I seen Joy for Metal Bowl, but that was a free show.
Ah.
Yeah.
They do free shows up there? But you can't
Like
leave
10 years ago, yeah.
The beers are $30, right? That's how they
now I wanted to, if you don't mind, I want to dip into a little personal history for you.
Okay.
Okay, I was researching, came across Thaddeus Germamalius Luker, your great-great-great-great-grandfather. Picture him, shot for cheating at poker. How much do corsets chafe?
Oh, was it the shot of me from Oatman?
Yeah.
Damn, you really dug in my social media. What is this fucking Hot Ones?
My very first album is called Mr. Nice Guy, and there's a picture. There's the old, we were at Santa Monica Pier, and we did the old timey, photo. And I'm sitting there, and my wife, you can see her leg. She's got the garter. She's got some money shoved in it, holding a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with a Tommy gun, and I'm just like, Mr. Nice Guy. And that picture took me right back there, and I was like, but then you were wearing a corset. You were dressed up as a barmaid.
A lady of the night.
A lady, yes.
A lady of
night.
the evening.
You were talking about your cleavage. And,
Yeah.
and I was like, I remember my first time. My wife took me and dressed me
Your
up.
first corset?
No,
You
yes.
remember your
my
first
wife,
corset?
My wife took me and dressed me up and did the red V for my first ever Rocky Horror Picture Show viewing.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
She was in college. I was there. I was there supporting her, and we went and
You have a real one.
well, not anymore.
You-
I mean,
you got a real
I
one.
haven't fit in that thing in years. But,
No, but your wife. You got
Oh,
a
yeah,
real
yeah,
one.
yeah. Oh, I got a real one, yeah. But,
She a real
but,
one,
but the
dog.
corset, man, because, you're having a good time, you're doing this,
Yeah.
and by the end of the night, you're like, oh, they hurt.
I don't think I wore the corset that long.
No, you didn't.
No, we
I'm
went
here to
up
tell
to that was just a trip to Oatman. I don't know if you've ever been up there. It's just kind of a tourist.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I got that vibe right away.
Yeah, it's just like a tourist ghost town. Went up there. Me and my ex was driving us. This is probably a terrible story for her. My ex was driving us, and me and my sister were doing shots of whiskey and lines of Coke the
Jeez.
entire day.
Fucking fuck.
But our whole family was there, so we would just dip off, and I wasn't in a good place.
Yeah, by the way, I did want to say congrats on kind of coming through all of that. We're not going to talk about too much of that.
Oh yeah,
but
it's nothing. It's nothing that I think that it's something that has always been. I'm very open with the fact that I've had like issues with addiction and depression. I'm manic depressive, and so I've gone through the gamut. You know what I mean? But definitely, yeah. Everyone's got their own mountains to climb.
yeah. No, because again, the podcast is where I got most of my information on him. But I was really impressed that you were so open about it, but also that you didn't let it make you like the stereotype of, okay, well now I'm clean, I'm going to write all my music about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we know famous musicians who've done that, and you're just like, yeah?
Yeah. I feel like it's the same way of anything else. It's neutral information. You know what I mean? People want to emotionally charge everything about their aspects, but I'm one of those people that I don't want to let my story be like my excuse
Exactly.
to get it. It's just some shit I did.
Like,
you know what I mean?
And like listening to the album again, because you have to understand everything. I was even listening to the album today while I was writing up the notes for this interview, because I was like, this is really going to tell me where you guys are right now, and that album does not say I went through XYZ, problems.
Yeah.
It's more like Pot USA. They are all about fun. And,
Yeah. The one song that deals with addiction is Drugstore. And that's a really interesting song because it's got double meanings. So the real meaning of that song is that I believe in everyone's natural freedom to put whatever substance you want in your body.
Right.
I feel like that shouldn't be prohibited. That no other human being should tell another human being that you can't do something. And it's about freedom, but it's also about how certain things do make you a shitty person.
Yeah, see, I'm 90% there with you.
Yeah.
We'll draw the line at things like PCP, where you're gonna hurt people.
If you're gonna
hurt others.
But I had a lot of fun with this album writing writing the songs in a way to where you could walk away with one of both ideas about it.
Right.
You know
I mean, what I got out of it was Pot USA meets Bare Naked Ladies meets, Spyro Gyra a little bit. There's some jazz in there a little bit. Jazz sensibility.
Yeah. That's a lot of this guy's 9 chords.
Nine.
He kept throwing
What?
my ways.
Get out those brushes. But
7.
sevens.
Yes. So
Sevens. It's sevens in the opening song. It's nines in Whispers.
it's all six.
No, that's all
anyway.
major sevens.
What?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say.
Say.
All right.
I thought those were nines.
I have two more questions for you. So you're almost done. You almost made it. For you,
Hi.
you have a vodka for cooking. What are you cooking with vodka?
Oh, well, vodka sauce is one of them.
But it doesn't. That's not supposed to have vodka in it.
Yeah, it is.
It's just called vodka sauce.
No, so the thing with adding vodka, adding alcohol will
Right,
bring
yes.
out certain aromatic qualities in something, and as you reduce it with the
You gotta burn
alcohol,
off. Yeah. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You see this drawer right here? My daughter is a bit of a budding chef. Those are hers.
oh wait, actually, I have almost the same exact knife at home, but like without the.
Yeah. You can't see this on camera, but it's a drawer full of cutlery. That, trust me, there's. God damn it! Now this camera wants to play around.
That's one of the things about the way that his brain works. He approaches cooking the same way he approaches music, and it's just like this.
When she tries to follow a recipe, she fails almost always.
I love listening to him talk to me about anything he's passionate about, but I also like it's
Eyes
about
glaze over.
it's about 5 seconds before he's into information that's just like
And then suddenly you're like,
washing.
but when
over.
can I eat?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like I've got a shield to being
Right.
smart or something.
But aside from vodka sauce, what else are you using vodka for to cook with?
Actually, I've barely been using it.
I mean, I realized
the-
that video you posted was a few years ago, but I was
Yeah.
just like, vodka for cooking? What's he cooking with
Well,
vodka?
because, and it's funny, the last time my mom came over, she's a bartender, and she saw the vodka sitting on the counter. She's like, who's drinking that garbage? And I was like, we don't drink it.
It was
It's okay.
cheap as vodka. It's like, pop
No,
up.
yeah. But that's why I get the cheap one, because you're going to
Yeah.
cook off any of the impurities anyways.
I think if you use vodka for making a particular type of dough,
Oh, I can see that.
I forget what it was. I saw it on a Iron
Yeah,
Chef
because
or
it's going
whatever.
to ferment a certain way.
But no, it was like when it bakes, it keeps the dough from drying out. I think it was, I want to say puff pastry. Like
Okay.
making puff pastry from scratch, which, who does that? I know. And last but not least, let's pretend, faithful viewers will know what's coming. Let's pretend you did a show, and someone comes up to you, says, how do I be like you? What was one piece of advice you wish somebody had given you before you got into music? There's your audience. Wow! I've
Okay.
never had anybody just to be quiet. And don't say change your strings.
No. Here's
Well, I mean, that's a given, though.
You think that.
here's the I feel like the reason that my voice came through on this album and that I finally did something that I'm proud of. I think probably the first thing that I'm proud of is that I stopped trying to do it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Not to say that you shouldn't try to do things, but I stopped trying to make it a thing. I stopped trying to do a thing. I stopped trying to copy a thing. I stopped trying to make it cool. I stopped trying to make money. I stopped thinking about my career or it as a career and just like make it because you only do what you want to do. Only follow the paths that lead you to the things that you want to do. And I'm not saying that they'll lead to anything other than being happy with what you make.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just only do the shit that you like and that makes you happy. And don't do it because you want people to think that about it a certain way, or you want a record company to sign you, or you want to get shows. I mean, again, we haven't played any shows, mainly because
You need a
You're
band.
looking at me.
yeah, I mean, because it's not as important as it was for us to just make the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
And
I
I mean-
believe in making things for the sake of making things.
Yeah. And it's not like we're like old and we don't want to play shows or anything like that. But I mean, I had a lot more fun playing shows 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why when I got that text,
Yeah.
that was the last show of that band. And eventually I took like a 2-year hiatus. You know, got the kid. She was she finally got to an age where I was like, all right, well now maybe I want to go in a band. well, no one's really doing a YouTube channel about the local scene except In the Pit with Annie, who's all about like heavy metal and the hard stuff. Good on you. But no one's ever really covering like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that's where this came from. Was I wanted to support the scene without playing till 2 a.m. in a bar for $50 for not knowing if the band was going to be a band next week.
Yeah.
So, but
that's I think another great takeaway is we're talking about pretend we've played a show, right? Don't worry about playing fucking shows.
Yeah.
Just worry about making what you want to make.
Dude.
Shows will come.
$50 and 2 drink tickets, and you gotta haul your own gear, and you're like not home till 3 a.m. and you feel like shit. Like
I'm playing plenty of shows right now, not with that band. But if you want to play shows, shows will come.
Yeah.
But what's more important is like, are you doing what you want to do?
Okay. How about you? What's your advice?
What is my advice?
I guess say ditto.
Get in the union.
Yeah.
This guy's texting me every week.
Well,
Union 720.
I got jobs for you.
Yeah, I do, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, not if you're not in it. No, but
Subtle, honey. Really subtle. Really quiet. My daughter, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, on the more technical side, I'm always about like, oh god, like whatever instrument you're learning, like take care of your instruments and actually learn what it is, because you're only as good as the tools that you use.
Yeah.
And of course, again, that's a much more objective side of things. Like he's more on the artistic side, and I don't remember which side of the brain, but the opposite.
Left side.
But I know one thing that we can both get behind is that you don't need the most expensive fucking thing to make something really great.
Absolutely not.
Is we both made this album on between my laptop and his old shit PC. Mm-hmm. Which now you have a nice shit PC.
Yeah. I actually just put a new stick of RAM in it.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
A new stick of RAM.
His eyebrow went up when I called this.
5 years ago, you wouldn't have known what that meant.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
But we did it all between our 2 home studios, and it was the smartest thing I've ever done. To stop worrying about getting into a recording studio and really spend the time on just teaching yourself how to do it. We're in the age where you can be your own. If you have critical ears and you're willing to be honest with yourself about when shit sucks and when it doesn't, and get the help when you need to get the help, you can do it all.
And the help is out there online.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it, a lot of what I know, part of it is half experience because at the time it was studios or nothing. And then I did my time doing that. Yeah, but now, like I know I don't have to go to a studio. I have a closet. I have a bathroom. I have I have a mixer connected to my computer. What more do I need? Because I know like you said, if you can hear it in here, there's ways to get it. You just have to be willing to try.
My favorite things that we did on that album were the really dumb shit. Just the really dumb lo-fi, like where we used purposefully bad guitar tones, or we would use when you came up with the trash can snare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Metallica, Saint Anger.
That's a really good ska snare. It's in the wrong
I actually
genre.
really like that song. I'll put it out there, but that's funny.
If that was in a 311 track with less distortion on it, it would sit like perfectly.
311.
Yeah, doesn't that sound like the 311 snare?
I miss
just with some more low end and some
311.
right?
Come out with more music, will you?
No.
My only other advice is if you're an artist and you're a writer, find someone that knows what they're doing. Find someone that knows what they're doing. Befriend them.
Yes. I think Sting said it best. And let's be honest, Sting. Anytime I hear Sting, anytime I see him perform or whatever, I'm like, what am I doing with why am I not practicing right now? Why am I not learning a new instrument, whatever? Sting said he made a career out of surrounding himself with people more talented than him. And I'm like, he's not wrong. Like, there's talent of, I can create a thing, and there's talent of, I can be consistent and be exactly what you need to make the thing. So,
Yeah.
All right. I know what you're talking about, though, about the like, purposely making weird guitar tones and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I have a song on my second album where I have like 7 guitar solos that it's like, let's try again. And I do it, and then I said, what if we play them all at the same time? And we did, and it worked. And I'll never be able to replicate that in live. But it was one of those weird moments where you're just like, am I a musician? Yeah.
We get there at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know
All
when
right.
it happens.
Well, with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank Tiny Animals? Wow. I want to thank Trash Animals for coming on the show. We're going to have a video after this, I believe.
Yeah, no, I'll send you a track to listen to. Make sure you check out Closer to the Antenna. It's an entire psych rock concept album about consciousness.
Exactly. Like I said, I've got a review that I did about it. There's a link down there. Make sure you click it. Get your own copy. Remember to be amazing. And we'll see you next time on Room 6. Say bye.
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 Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. There's always one. There's always one that does something.
Gonna break apart every cloud in the sky and roll him up in a little backyard for every cat, kitten, and child. 'Cause everyone on board here knows the stakes. On the line is future generations and anthropomorphic feline race, and I will take that in stride. These kittens need a cat to guide them home. I could be the captain that they want. You can call me Whiskers. This little chalk is my first mate. This ship and her 7 other sisters come such a very, very long way. Holes cut icy contrails through the skies, fleeing persecution in search of better lives, and I will take that in stride. These kittens need a cat to guide them home. I could be the captain that they want. Home ain't the place where you live. It could be a fleeting moment, or it could even be a passing ship. Goodbye to the earth and the fishes. Farewell to my services. Hate to see you go, but can't afford to take you with us.
And close on their heels was Coyote Sky, sitting lotus atop an old Panzer, a right mean bastard if you've ever seen one. And with him, a horde of the most ungodly creatures you've seen in your life, manning diesel engines and hauling soot-covered munitions. The great mob crawled across the hills and prairies, destroying all in their path. Coffin smoke trails so thick whole flocks of birds would choke and die before they hit the ground. Coyote had killing on his mind as he followed his enemy's contrails streaked across that flat, cold blue sky. Whiskers and his whole company were in the shit now, all right. And each day, the inevitable void of Coyote's masses inched its way closer to war.